So Boris Johnson's holiday is over and it's time to get back to work and back to Westminster. However, attempting to escape Keir Starmer's jabs may be the least of Boris Johnson's worries. Here are some of the major headaches for the Prime Minister just this month. Today is the grand opening of schools in England and Wales. Now, Scotland and Northern Ireland have already opened. Boris and his Education Secretary Gavin Williamson are increasingly confident that things will go according to plan when children return to classrooms. Now, this is contrasted with the concerns both from parents and teachers. So the UK government faced something of a calm before the storm in the last week before the summer holidays with yet another Tory U-turn, this time on face masks. Face coverings are now mandatory in schools for children in corridors, though not in lessons. Ministers believe that they got through this latest debacle, with local authorities and trade unions largely supportive in the end. The government also feels that both parents and children ultimately want to return to school. I think parents want their kids to return and kids themselves want to see their friends again. School heads and teachers have done a lot of the heavy lifting here. My fear is that when things go wrong, the government will seek someone else to blame. Returning to school carries a huge risk with many unknowns. If cases appear in a school, should it be locked down? Who will be put into quarantine? The test and trace system isn't up to speed yet, so what can you rely on? Could a school cause a local lockdown? Would a local lockdown include schools in the area? Now, the next major headache for the Prime Minister is the looming unemployment bombshell. The more immediate factor the government have to deal with is a mass layoff at the end of the furlough scheme. This is currently paying the wages of millions of people. This is planned to be axed at the end of October. The Chancellor hasn't any plans to extend it yet. So it means in November many people will no longer have government support and will likely lose their jobs. Businesses who have been relying on it to keep staff on will have to let people go. The furlough scheme plays into a bigger problem. Since the pandemic hit, fewer and fewer people have been willing to go out and spend money in the economy. This means that more and more small businesses and medium-sized businesses, especially in the hospitality sector, will simply close. Many believe that many businesses will return to normal as we attempt in our society to return to some form of normality. But I believe this is pie in the sky. Many jobs will be permanently lost, and the government needs to be honest with people about this. Most of the tools the government are using are just going to prolong a major downturn. On the political front, the Chancellor is facing rebellions within his own party surrounding some of the measures he wishes to take. This won't hit until October and November, but it would make sense for the government to prepare the public right now in September. The final migraine for Boris Johnson is, of course, Brexit. The 7th of September sees the next round of talks, with both the UK and EU saying that a no-deal outcome looked more likely than it did during the early summer. Chief UK Brexit negotiator David Frost and his team keep saying that unless the EU and its chief negotiator Michel Barnier soften on state aid rules, Britain will be better off leaving the transition period without a deal. Of course, Brexiteer MPs are hoping that Boris Johnson and his team will formally walk away from talks sooner rather than later. Now, is Boris Johnson bluffing? Is he playing chicken with the EU, or is he playing some sort of mental game with his own backbenchers? Does Boris Johnson, with his 80-seat majority, have the stomach to fight his own party? Has he given up and accepted not getting a deal with the EU? Does Boris Johnson know the full ramifications of leaving the Brexit transition period without a deal? Or has he been tricked by the sweet words of someone like Dominic Cummings? Or will Boris Johnson prove me right and return with a bare bones deal? Or is there even time left for that? Let me know in the comments section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?